So they erected them in the most unusual way. They have, I mean, the huge megalithic stones tell us they're put in kind of a base, stone base, and holes were made uh, so that they can kind of put them in the holes. Another interesting detail is that the ornaments that are carved on these stelas are very much in the style that we currently see in, not currently, but we see on the ancient structures of Peru and Bolivia. Ornaments are practically the same. The strange things don't end here. Um, we see various animals depicted with actually quite good detail on the stelas, and there are animals like ostriches and few others that are not typical for the local animals that would live in this region of Turkey at those times. How did the people who built Göbekli Tepe know about these animals, and not only know about them, but as if they saw them in the front of their eyes when they were carving them? The details are so well done. The animals that are depicted in the stone carvings of Göbekli Tepe are usually animals that live in regions of lush vegetation and regions of a lot of rainfall and high humidity. And the climate of Turkey is, in this region and in general, is actually quite dry. It doesn't support the ecosystem needed for this type of animal life. It's a strange animal that looks either like a dinosaur or maybe like the extinct dodo bird. An interesting detail that they noticed is that on the stand where these stelas were inserted, there was a small damage. and you can see the pattern of whatever dinosaurs or these dodo birds. This pattern is going on the damaged surface. So it seems that we have traces some sort of ancient restoration work, or maybe the pattern was placed on something that was already ancient at that time and damaged before that. Maybe it was something else before that. There is another dinosaur carving, kind of dinosaur, and the head of that animal very much resembles the carnivorous dinosaurs seen on the Ica stones. And again, how many times when we are in Turkey, we find ourselves again in Peru. So what was this place actually? Some people, the first connection they can make in their minds when they see it is of a kindergarten, because our kindergartens have images of animals on the walls for educational purpose. Other people associate it with a genetic laboratory for designing various animals. So the results were carved on the wall. Why not? Something else interesting about this full complex is that it was buried in, it was covered with earth. I mean, somebody piled up an enormous amount of earth on it to guard it from something or for some other unknown reason. We have, for example, in Mexico, in Teotihuacan, it was also buried, the full complex was buried with earth on the top. By the way, this requires an enormous endeavor to transport such large amounts of soil and pile it up over there. So what if it wasn't the people who covered it up with earth? What if that was done by the currents of the flood, of the famous flood that happened around, roughly 12,000 years ago? I mean, in this case, even the official historians date this monument at about that time. Also, we read in the historic records that it was the complex was covered with sand. However, when the team arrived on the spot, they quickly found out that it wasn't sand at all. It was a mixture of clay and all kinds of stones and all kinds of things inside, actually. And this mixture that covered the full complex. It perfectly matches what would have been carried to this location by gigantic flood, very strong flood current. That's exactly what this type of currents drag and deposit. Moreover, these stones tell us they were also carried away by this flood, probably, because they were not standing. Even the ones that are standing today for display, they're doing that with the help of recent supports. Because the location of the complex is in reality between two hills, when this violent current passed by dragging all that material with it, the deposits were enough to completely cover the complex that was situated in the dell between the two hills.
months.